Thrifting is one of my favorite things. It's honestly where I get most of my clothes. Whenever my friends ask me like where I get my clothes, I'm like, oh, some thrift store. I don't remember which one, but yeah. So growing up, I always went thrifting. So when I came to MSU, I was like, where do I go? Like, I'm not familiar with like East Lansing and what's around here. And after some Googling and talking to people, I found Metro Retro. I really liked the environment of it. So once in a while I go here just to see like what new clothes they have. I bought a few things from here before. I keep looking at this jacket because it's really cute. When it comes to thrifting, I kind of just look at whatever I like. I really like vintagey things, and other than that, it doesn't matter like what color something is or like what type of fabric it is. I just kind of like know what I like by now and just kind of look for stuff that catches my eye. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, that's cute, and then I'll pull it out and be like, no, but this is actually cute. I also look at prices. The prices here are really good compared to other like thrift stores I've been to, especially the ones that aren't like the typical chain thrift stores like the Salvation Army or like Goodwill.
I'm Ezra and I work at Metro Retro. I make the signs for our products and I like organize and I help like price things. We predominantly look for like vintage. I mean, we have some stuff from like the 40s. Like we have like a Brownies Scout camera that's like vintage from the 40s. We got stuff yesterday or like the other day and it was from like the 40s and 50s, but then we'll also have stuff from the 60s, 70s, but I feel like 70s, 80s is kind of mostly the vibe, maybe 90s a little bit. But we also have like some newer stuff, like we'll get like Batman and like Deadpool t-shirts and stuff like that. But I would say like predominantly like between 60s and 80s. Basically, it's like just what we think will be likable to people kind of in the realm of what this store is. Like the tag is like really important. If it was made in America and how like old it is a lot of like what we look for. I feel like, at least when I'm thrifting and stuff for vintage and antique stuff, I like always am trying to figure out when it's from or whatever. Like I always try to make sure it's made in the US because I just think that that's sick. But we have stuff from all over the world. But it just is cool to me when it says made in USA because so much is not made in the US right now. We look for one-of-a-kind things, hand-stitched things, like things that no one else will ever have. We like some brands too. We try to get like vintage, like vintage like Versace or like Gucci, vintage Guess, vintage Columbia, vintage Nike, kind of like the known brands, but also like the kind of like flashy ones, but then also like the classics like Nike, Converse, and stuff like that. It's all different, like thrift, like different thrift stores, or people bring stuff in. Like this girl brought in like a ton of stuff from like between the 40s and the 60s. She's gone through like every decade phase and has like a ton of clothes from it, and that was awesome. Like we were sad because we had to turn some stuff away, but at one point you can't spend so much. I need antique shops and stuff like that, just like over time collecting things, like, and some stuff we order, like our patches and pins and buttons and stuff like that, or like we sell for like a local artist. I know that some people do consignment here. I don't know how to set up the consignment, but I know that people have. I used to sell clothes to him sometimes, but people bring in stuff, or they'll do trades. So like we could do a fair trade, like you bring in like a hamper or whatever, and we'll like do like the hamper. It just depends on what they bring. And we buy things in bulk, so like if someone brings in a load of clothes, it's like we'll pay $30 for all of this, not like $5 a piece or something like that. But maybe it turns out to be that way. My favorite items we have right now, we just got in like a ton of new books. Oh, I love the Kurt Cobain journals. Like it's like his actual notebook. We have this, which is the Dolce & Gabbana jacket again. I'm in love with it. It's just like, it's vintage Dolce & Gabbana. It's like, it goes for like $500 or $600 in the store or something. Or it was when it was like new, and now we have it for $60. But this is just like, I love the short, like the crop, but then it's low down here. And with this being thick like that, and this part being thick too, it like just makes it like way down on you, so it just looks vampires out. Like, I love this. It's an express coat. It's like, it fits really tight, like in the waist, so that, but then it like kind of poofs. It just looks sick, like super vampire